Okay, so who says that? Everyone. Everyone is cutting their dividend. Well, not the folks at Disney. The Mouse House upping it almost 13% to 35 cents a share. The entertainment giant stock up 3% on that news. So there you go. And whatever happened to $100 a barrel oil? Remember that? It's down to a little bit more than $90 now. Amid reports, we've got more oil piling up here than we thought, at least for now. And shares of Bear Stearns finishing the day up more than 4%. People losing their jobs. The reason, about 650 people to be exact. The third such round of job cuts at the brokerage house since just August. And another guy losing his job, but this time voluntarily at the White House. Al Hubbard leaving the National Economic Council, he says, to spend more time with his family. Reports are, though, that he could be in the running for any one of a number of financial jobs on Wall Street that seem to keep opening up again and again and again. Well, Hubbard's deputy, Keith Hennessy, will be taking his place. Well, existing home sales falling 1.2% last month. Now, as bad as that was, most economists expected worse, because tucked inside that report from the National Association of Realtors was a possible reason why they weren't a lot worse. Average prices were down a little more than 5%, the biggest year-over-year price decline on record. Proof that if you cut the price, you'll cut through the logjam? And if so, how much more price cutting do we need to see? Let us ask Uber Realtor Connie de Groot. Connie, what do you think? Price cuts get them out, I guess, right?
Well, price cuts are a good idea in some cases, but not all cases. In many cases, homes are moving right now, just where they are. But let's look at some of the numbers here. In September, 8.2%. There was a decrease in volume, and this month, in October, nationwide, it's been a decrease of 1.2%. So we're seeing that, you know, things are settling a bit. In the Northeast and the South, it's basically unchanged as far as the volume of units sold. But we're having a problem out in the West.
You know, Connie, you're so smart, you're talking over my head. So remember, I'm an idiot.
Oh, stop.
Here's what I want to know, Connie.
Okay.
What I did see lately in reports both on new home sales and existing home sales, that when the prices come down, the people come out. They don't necessarily buy, but they do come out. And I'm seeing a little bit more people coming out. Now, I'm also seeing while prices, while sales are still dropping, they're not dropping as much as they were. Now, maybe it's the cockeyed optimist in me that looks at that and says, hey, maybe we're at a bottom. What do you think?
Well, you know, your guess is as good as mine. As I said before,
actually, you're the expert, Connie. That's why I asked you.
You only know when the bottom is there when it's behind you. But here's what we're dealing with. The lenders have really tightened up their guidelines, and we're, you know, as time progresses, we're seeing that they're loosening the guidelines, and also the psychology of the buyer. It's improving. A couple months ago, my phone wasn't ringing too often. There were not many showings. Now my phone is ringing a lot. I have a lot of showings.
Who's calling?
Buyers. They want to see houses. They're ready to move forward.
Now, what price points are they checking out?
You know, I'm not going to say it's 400,000, but it's, you know, it's in the $1 million range, a little bit plus. But I'm
all right,
getting
in your neck of the woods, that's a closet, right? I mean, still.
Yes, but I'm also getting calls from other people that live across the country, as I always do, and they're encouraged. They're asking me, is the bottom here? I mean, if you're going to stay in your house for 5 or 7 years, then there's been enough of an adjustment in many areas to move forward now.
Well, you're in the L.A. area, right? You're in the L.A. area with a lot of rich folks, and some of them, a lot of them have the wherewithal to sort of ride this out, but a lot of them do not. So what is your sense of where we are in what was arguably one of the hottest real estate markets in the country, your area, now, today?
I think it's getting better month by month, and that's due to the psychology of the buyer. There's a lot of people that can buy, and they've been sitting on the fence. They're looking at houses. I have people come to the same house numerous times, and I go, well, what is going to make you move forward? I know you love this house.
What do they tell you? What do they tell you?
They just think that prices are going to adjust a little bit more, and they're waiting. But these people are getting tired of the waiting process, and they're also thinking that maybe today might be a good time to buy. There's more and more good information that's coming out, and I think that, you know, next month we might see a few
well, you know,
that
Connie,
look a little better than this month.
I'm just obligated to say, you know, you're in the business, you're a realtor extraordinaire, so it's in your interest to say things are turning around. Here's what worries me, that let's say you're right, and let's say things are turning around. Let's say people are calling you more often. I like to think it's because you're on this show and they say, hey, I want to talk to Connie. But they're calling you more, and yet they don't qualify because lenders are being tougher on them. That's like a double-edged sword, right? Well,
that's a different story. If you know, I'm really speaking to people that do qualify, and there are good borrowers that in August and September had a hard time getting a loan. I lost a few escrows because of that. But things have changed. I'm having, you know, lenders from Countrywide, from Wells Fargo, from different banks contact me and say, Connie, okay, we can work for you, and we're ready to go now.
Countrywide is calling you?
Yes, I just closed last week a deal with Countrywide.
Wow, okay.
Yep. Go figure.
Go figure.
So, you know, I think there's a lot to be optimistic about, but I'm only speaking to people that are qualified, that can buy, that have the money, you know, and not the people that really should maybe wait a little while before they move forward.
All right, wise words.
Does that make sense?
It does, Connie. Even I understood that. Connie, thank you. Very good seeing you again. Hope your phone keeps ringing.
Thanks, Neil.
All right,
Always a pleasure.
All right, Connie DeGroot in L.A. Well.